free, and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. Very,
I hope I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to a fun topic today. We're talking about emotional intelligence. Let's go ahead and get over to our screen. We're going to share the screen. What does emotional intelligence mean? Well, thanks to the power of the internet. And it's also, I have a strong point of why this is so important. So, emotional intelligence, the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. So these are some major points. If you can't see that, again, the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Thank you. That is from the Oxford Dictionary. Okay. So that is the definition of emotional intelligence. And why does that matter? Why is that important? So there's kind of two realms we could have. Maybe actually this would probably be this would lead right into my point. This is an image, EQ versus IQ. So most of us know, talk, and listen about IQ all the time, but it seems in a world where we have technologies, artificial intelligence, just the IQ part of the brain is it as useful as EQ? Well, to give kind of a lame answer, I suppose, is they're both very fundamental. They're both very crucial to functioning and to improving our lives and to becoming intelligent. All of these amazing things, right? EQ and IQ. They're both great. But I think IQ is going to be less weighted on than it has in the past. And I think EQ is going to have a huge surge in importance moving forward as technologies continue to develop, as we have things like ChatGPT, OpenAI, other technologies, giant companies like Amazon and Apple, as they continue to make things easier and easier on the skill, logic, reasoning, memory. I mean, how trash has memory become? Does anyone know anyone's phone number anymore? I think that I know a couple. I know my mom's, and I know my girlfriend's. There's two. Yeah, so you can see my point here is that memory is not nearly as needed as it used to be. Should we continue to memorize things? Should we continue to have focus in schools, as you can kind of see in this chart here? Yes, of course. IQ is absolutely important. My point here today is to talk about EQ and how emotional intelligence is very, very crucial. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you 11 reasons why I believe emotional intelligence it's the shit. It's really important, and how you can take a huge advantage in your job, in your personal life, and in just getting more enjoyment out of the go by using these 11 points for emotional intelligence. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. First, number one, communication skills. We have to communicate with people in order to feel fulfilled, in order to do a good job, in order to move forward with our goals. I haven't had a personal goal. Personally, I've not had a goal where I didn't have to communicate with other people. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me do this? And there's a way of going about asking for help with communication skills that can be vital too. So understanding that emotionally people want to feel invested, they want to help you, and then being able to have those communication skills and tying that with emotional intelligence can be a supercharger to get more stuff done. Improved conflict resolution. Number two, for a reason why emotional intelligence is a must, is improved conflict resolution. We see conflict all the time. You see people on TV fighting like cats and dogs, or you see people even working for the same company who have the same goal. And because everyone's too focused on IQ and not enough on emotional intelligence, that they fight, they believe they're right, they believe they're wrong, they're not willing to budge on what they believe, and it can create an area where it's really difficult to get anything done. I know dozens of people who have quit jobs because their coworkers, their bosses, the company did not have emotional intelligence. And this is going to continue to happen. And people are continuing to recognize the importance of, let's get into point number 3, stronger relationships. If you want to have strong relationships with the people you work with, if you want to have a strong relationship with yourself, you have to be able to use empathy. You have to be able to use your social skills. You have to be able to use creativity and self-awareness, a lot of the points that we just saw on the screen. And when we can use these and we can take the pressure off of ourselves, we're like, okay, yeah, I don't understand how they fully feel, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's okay to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not saying give them the damn keys to your car or give them the deed to your house, but you can start. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt until proven wrong. And I think this really helps build strong relationships, like right off the bat, when we're on the same page, we're open, or where we're empathetic with each other. We find this very helpful. Increased self-awareness. People are really starting to realize, and when I'm talking about people, I'm saying myself, that it's like, holy crap. When I just can improve my situation and I can have more compassion and curiosity to what it is I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and I can improve that emotional intelligence, then by increasing my self-awareness, I'm able to increase my empathy. And then I'm just not riled up about a bunch of the small things that are going on in my life, the things that I know I need to get improved. Everyone has a big list to do. I hear that all the time. I'm really busy. I got a big list to tackle. And then by having increased self-awareness of what's really going on, I think it makes it a whole hell of a lot easier to really enjoy while you're doing what it is that you're actually doing. So increasing your self-awareness for emotional intelligence. Enhance leadership skills. Everyone loves a leader. Everyone loves a leader. If you're trying to build a company, if you're trying to just help lead people who you know, like, and trust, or just maybe it's your family or your friends, or you just want to lead by example. You want to be a leadership. If you want to develop leadership skills, then you need to look into emotional intelligence, that awareness, that control of one's emotions. When leaders are in turbulent times, Leadership in Turbulent Times, shout out to Doris Goodwin, one of my favorite books ever. But when you're a leader and you're in these types of situations, enhancing your emotional intelligence and will not automatically, if you lift emotional intelligence, your leadership skills go up, because leaders need both EQ and IQ and well-rounded, yada, yada. Okay. Better stress management. Have you been stressed lately? Have you been stressed out? Do you have a hard time taking your concentration off of your one work goal, your one fitness goal, this one goal that you got going on? If you have a hard time turning off the water fountain of thoughts that are berating your brain, emotional intelligence can help with slowing down and being more empathetic, compassionate, and curious about what's going on with you. If we can dive a little deeper into the emotional side of our bodies, of our minds, because remember, Emotions drive the car. You don't go to McDonald's and eat the shitty food because you logically think that's smart. You do it because you've emotionally had it for the day. People make decisions emotionally. This has been in every dang sales book that I've read. It shocks me that I had to read a bunch of sales books to figure out the importance of emotions and then vice versa. It's like, okay, well, that is true. That's how they influence me. Oh, that is true emotionally. And that's exactly how I've made all of my decisions up to this point because emotionally it sat with me well. Understanding that emotions are in the driver's seat and that we can relate that to stress. It's like, okay, what am I actually stressed about? What are you actually stressed about? Put a name to it. Put a feeling to it. Do you feel stress in your shoulders? Do you feel stress in your chest? Sometimes just identifying it and naming it can help dramatically reduce the amount of stress. Take time, take a moment, breathe for a second. Empathy, curiosity for yourself. Those are go-tos for me all the time when I'm feeling stressed, and it really helps reduce it. Higher levels of motivation. So I think with emotional intelligence, this like raised awareness and raised control of emotional intelligence allows me to become more of an observer of my life. And I don't know about you, but you try this out. You take an outward approach and you're looking back at another version of yourself and you're like, okay, what's really going on? How do you feel? Like, what are you stressed about? Where's the self-awareness? These types of things that we were just talking about. And when I can really see that I am trying, that I am growing, that I am evolving, that I am getting better, and I'm able to see the progress in my life, this is like rocket fuel for my motivation. For me personally, when I'm able to take an outward view and I'm like become the observer and look back at myself, and I have more empathy for myself, like these are the decisions that I've made, and a lot of them are pretty good, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy and I'm really healthy. And that just naturally raises my motivation. So, motivation. Improved decision making. Choices are the bricks that may lay the path of our life, or I can't ever remember how the hell that went in that. I read it in some book anyway, sat with me really well. Either way, I think it was actually from Danco. Shout out to Danco. He's an awesome YouTuber. But our point here is emotional intelligence can help make improved decision making. We need to stop believing that we can logically think through stuff to just become superhumans and enjoy our lives more and more. It turns out that addressing and understanding and negotiating, yes, negotiating with yourself, which sounds wild, but very true, with the emotional side of our feelings is very, very important for making a final decision, because I'm willing to guarantee that today, all of your decisions are going to be emotionally driven. That is how that works. And it's like, okay, you get to the point to where you rationalize. So you're thinking like, no, Tanner, I logically choose to like go to work. It's like more so emotionally. So between your EQ and IQ, you're like kind of negotiating. Your IQ is like, hey man, we really should be doing that. You really should be getting in the car and hitting the gas. It's like a negotiation between it, but it's still your emotions that are making the final decisions. And by just understanding that and kind of working backwards to help that, it can just improve the decision-making process and help with things. Last week, we talked about decision fatigue. That stuff absolutely kills people, myself included. So be very careful of decision fatigue, and you can improve your decision-making process by increasing your emotional intelligence. Point number 9, greater emotional resilience. This is why emotional, I'm trying to think of a better way to say this. Well, I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, people quit because they're emotionally not strong. Like when times get tough, why do you quit? Because this hurts. This is painful. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't deal with this. You're not quitting because logically you think quitting is the right thing to do. Nobody quit because they logically thought this was. I'm sure there are some instances where there's some super freaks who yada yada. You can always pick anything apart, I'm sure. But to my understanding and my experience, every time something didn't get done, it was for emotional reasons. I don't feel like doing this right now. And that is emotionally driven. Feel like I feel good today, so I'm going to do this. I feel bad today, so I'm not going to do this. So there are things that we can do to help improve our emotional intelligence to have greater emotional resilience. We want to be able to do things for long periods of time. If you want to blow up a company and you want to make a bunch of money, it's going to take a long freaking time. It's going to take like a decade, possibly, or you're going to have to at least. Some people blow them up in a month. Some people blow them up in a year. I haven't done that. And I haven't done, my investments haven't done that in a year. My coaching business hasn't done that in a year. It's going to take some time. And if you're like me at all, or you can think of your own situation of like, wow, it took me years to get this done. Having emotional resilience is crucial in order to keep going and being very consistent, very, very consistent. Point number 10, effective teamwork. Everyone needs to work in a team. So improving your emotional intelligence can help. Work with your team. Maybe thinking of how can I get in a team situation? If you wanted to play an intramural sport, maybe you want to collaborate with other people you work with. Maybe you want to help improve other people, or how it feels like you're always part of a team, whether it's with your friends or it's with your family, or if it's with just your coworkers, whatever it is, there's always usually some type of teamwork going on, and emotional intelligence can help bring up the team. Okay. And the last point is overall well-being. If we have EQ and we have IQ and we have this mix and match of empathy and skill and creativity and logic kind of all maxed into one, humans are emotional creatures. We've talked about how we make our decisions off of emotional intelligence, how our levels of motivation are driven off of emotional intelligence. We're talking about just in health, self-awareness, conflicts, all the chaos going on, all that ties into your overall well-being. So if we can improve emotional intelligence, then we can ram through and we can become better people, and we can have higher levels of empathy, compassion, and curiosity. So we can go through life understanding that it's not just us in this world. We're all working as a team. We're all trying to get better. Everyone wants to get better. I don't want to smash. There's this like crazy belief that I want your goals to fail so mine can succeed. It's like, no, you need to be successful too. Especially like I am a coach, and your success is my success, but I don't think that's limited to coaching. So think of that as we're all working in this together in some capacity. I know that can sound cheesy, but emotional intelligence and just the self-awareness of the topic. So maybe that's today's challenge. Ask yourself, how can I improve my emotional intelligence just a little bit? How can I have a little more empathy for somebody? How can I have a little more curiosity for myself? How can I raise my self-awareness? How can I improve my decision-making by being emotionally resilient throughout the day? This was 11 reasons why emotional intelligence is important. And for my video editor, this is how we're going to wrap it up. Point number 1, improve communication skills. Number 2, improve conflict resolution, stronger relationships, increase self-awareness, enhanced leadership skills, better stress management, higher levels of motivation, improved decision-making, greater emotional resilience, effective teamwork, and higher overall well-being. 11 reasons why emotional intelligence is important. Check it out. I hope you guys all have an incredible, fun-filled Monday, having a great week. It's going to be a good one. we got a little bit of a snow dusting here after it was like 80 degrees this last week. But I did get some sunshine, and I got a little sunburnt. So can't complain about getting out in the sun and working out in the yard and going for walks and bike rides and stuff. It was really fun. So I'm really grateful. And today's going to be, we got a lot of work coming up. And check in for tomorrow's show. We have another guest. We have another guest on the Talk to Tanner Morning Show. I'm really excited. Her name, Tiffany Vonman, and she is a real estate professional out of the Chicagoland area. And I'm really excited for her to come onto the show and check out what we have going on and just hear more of how she's handling it. Maybe she can talk about emotional intelligence a little bit and how she's handling it. The home buying process can be pretty emotional. So it should be a fun episode. Make sure to check out us and our guests tomorrow morning. And other than that, yeah, I'm going to be making a couple social media posts about the interview tomorrow. And I hope you guys come and check it out and share it and like it. And if you've stuck around for this long, make sure to like the video. If you have our YouTube channel, so always make sure to go check out our YouTube. Our YouTube is our bread and butter for our business right now. Oh, that is not the right page. Excuse me. Emotional intelligence. Okay. Good. So if you've stuck around this far, you can always go to YouTube. You can type in Talk to Tanner. And that's our guy. Talk to Tanner. Actually, he's live right now talking about emotional intelligence, but we're coming up on 400 videos. Holy cow. We are really crushing them, cranking them out. If you like this type of content, personal development, always come to YouTube, check us out, see what we got to offer. But this was 11 reasons why emotional intelligence is important. Kick that off the screen. Again, hope you guys have an incredible Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow live, 7 a.m., with another episode of the Talk to Tanner Morning Show, where we are joined with our guest, Tiffany. Should be a good one. Real estate talks, life talks. Until next time. Cheers, friends. Peace out.